Welcome, welcome, welcome to the master class of prophecy. I'm your host. I'm your teacher. I am your expounder on this present night. And from now on, I am Dr. Kifa Ben Israel. Hallelujah. And I serve in many capacities in the body of Messiah, apostle. I am archbishop of our fellowship of local church and of our committee and board of apostles, prophets, bishops, and pastors. I'm more than elated to be here tonight to explain to you the characteristics of prophecy, the operation of prophecy, and most of all, the correct manner in which we conduct ourselves as the messengers, or if you will, the prophets of the Most High. A position that a lot of people have tried to emulate, imitate, put themselves into purposely without any caution. Um, the phrase gone with the wind comes to mind when we start talking about the prophetic. I've been noted on several different occasions to call the prophetic pathetic, especially with what we're dealing with in our current system of prophecy. You're going to hear me say that word quite a bit because I believe that there is a system of prophecy. I do. I believe that there is a operation of prophecy, which the operation of prophecy, we're talking about people that have been chosen in the spirit realm to functionally flow in the boundaries or in the perspective of prophecy. But either way it go, there has to be a training period. And this is what the master class of prophecy is here for. And this is what we do. We train. We tame the beast, if you will. We teach people how to moderate the gift of prophecy. Ephesians 4 and 11 talks vividly about, and he gave some, he being the Messiah, the Christ, the one that ascended to heaven after he descended to the lower parts of the earth. He came back up through the birth canal of the matrix or the universe, if you will, and made a pit stop in on earth, if you will, excuse me. He made a pit stop on earth. And when he made a pit stop on earth, he knew that there was going to have to be some type of representation to solidify the kingdom movement. So he left physical gifts unto men. He left physical gifts unto men that are noted in Ephesians 4 and 11. He gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, and teachers. And he gave them for the edifying of the body of Messiah, that which Christ, Messiah, had built or had come to build, his protection agency. A lot of people like to call it the fivefold ministry. I just personally like to say ministry gifts because it fits the portion that we're trying to deal with, the narrative, if you will. The narrative is that he had gatekeepers or key holders to the kingdom of heaven, and their operation was their function. But for the sake of what we teach and what we're trying to relay to you, we focus in on the gift of prophecy. And let me tell you that the gift of prophecy can vary. It can vary from demonstration to the example of a living, breathing, existing human being. That's right. A human being can be a gift to the body. And more than likely, a human being is a gift to the body. Okay. Now, before I start getting into some deeper teaching, I want to explain to everyone how this open platform of the masterclass of prophecy, how this thing works. I am never going to keep people from learning. We are on a public platform, so it is part of my responsibility to give a clear and concise message, in this case, a clear and concise teaching of the word of Yah, a full study into the word of Yah. Now, with that being said, if you want any type of certification, such as a degree, an ordination, an affirmation, whatever it is that you have come to my school for, you must email me at Dr. And all this is lowercase, okay? It's all together in lowercase. Email me at Dr. Dr. Kefa, Kepha, Ben, Ben, Israel, Israel, the number 77, and then at the at sign Comcast.net. All lowercase. It doesn't have to be high or nothing like that. Again, Dr. Dr. Kefa, Kepha, Ben, Ben, Israel, Israel, the number 77 at Comcast.net. You contact me at that email, and I will have a one-on-one um, communication with you as to the cost of your completion, whether it be a certificate of completion, whether it be a degree of some sorts, whether it be an affirmation into ministry, or even an ordination into ministry. Only you know what you have been or what you are here for, and you are bringing it to my attention, and we are discussing where you will go and how you will go about doing it. I used to have a set price for the classes. At one time, for 6 months, it was $150. I thought that to be very reasonable, but a lot of people kind of like shunned in my face on that one. So now it is a individual situation where you have to contact me, and we'll discuss the price of whatever it is that you are getting ready to operate in. Now, for those of you out there that are not trying to get anything for, as far as paperwork, you can donate, and I would ask you to prayerfully consider donating into this masterclass of prophecy and the work that we are going to be doing. The exasperation of 2 nights per week on Tuesday and Wednesday to be able to bring you all some powerful information that will change your perspective on the world of the prophetic, period. And the way you can give to our PayPal. You can go to paypal.me, M-E, / Dawn of Prophecy 777. That is our PayPal. Again, you can type in paypal.me, M-E, / Dawn of Prophecy, the number 777. Or you can simply go to the Cash App. You can simply go to the Cash App, hit the Cash App sign, the dollar sign, and type in Chief Apostle Kepha. Chief Apostle Kepha. Kepha is spelled Kepha. As a matter of fact, the ways of giving are on the screen up under my name, up under the Dr. Kepha Israel, Professor of Divinity. Up under that is the giving information. Okay? Now, without further ado, I like to get those preliminaries out the way so that way we can talk about it. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the characteristics um, of the prophet. I want to talk to you about the real characteristics of the prophet. A lot of people, uh, when they think of the prophet or they think of the ways of the prophet, they immediately go to and think about Moses, Moshe, because he is probably the most popular figure in the world of prophecy when it comes down to being a prophet. It's no secret that Moshe, Moses in the English, was a major character in the world of the prophetic. So much so that Messiah, Jesus, Yeshua, Yehoshua, mentioned him quite a bit. He talked about him quite a bit in every expose that he operated in and with. It's no secret to that. And with that being said, the the characteristic of Moses was very important, especially the characteristic of Moses before he was sent to Jerusalem, excuse me, before he was sent to Egypt to decree the freedom of the children of Israel. His characteristic was very important because he was a shepherd in the field, in Midian to be exact. And while he was shepherding, that's when the call of the Most High Elohim, the Most High God, that is when the call came and he answered. And it was relayed to him in the glory of the Most High, in his glory. Oh, y'all ain't gonna like me tonight. His call was relayed to him in the glory. This is a very important part that I'm going to talk to you about. When the call of the prophetic comes, most of the time it comes in humility or it comes through work. Hello, somebody. What do I mean by that? What are you saying? When I say it comes through work, you're busy operating and functioning in an everyday purpose. So much so that you do not have a knowledge of what's coming. Hello, somebody. This is to let you know that a lot of things that people do today, or that they are thinking, or they say they're operating in a pre recorded spirit. I need to help somebody now. A pre recorded spirit is the same as a practice thing. It's like getting in the mirror and imitating what you see. Oh, I need some help up in here, up in here. Imitating a pre-recorded an assimilation that has been practiced. This is what we're seeing in the 21st century for the model of prophecy. We are seeing practice behavior, familiar behavior, but practiced. A lot of people are imitating other people that they are seeing. They do not have their own identity, nor do they have a personality, if you will. All of that is learned behavior. There's a lot of people operating in the spirit of learned behavior because they don't have their own identity. So they watch, preferably most of them watch YouTube because we are in the 21st century. We are operating in different things now. So a lot of people are exasperating and watching continuously other ministers, other miracle workers, if you will, that broadcast on social media, Instagram, YouTube, even X, which formerly was known as Twitter. They are operating in a chameleon spirit. They're imitating what they see. They have no revelation. They have no destination. They're operating fully in self. And when you find people that are operating fully in self, then you find a dangerous individual that would go as far as they can go to get a pat on the back, but to be lifted up, to be glorified through the simplification of the things that they're doing. So today and right now, I'm going to go to my tablet and I'm going to go to a book that is not recognized by most Christian churches. Now, as I'm speaking right now, at this very moment, there could be some of the Christian churches and some of the Hebrew Israelite churches or even the Messianic churches that possibly have accepted the books that were not included in the canon of Scripture when the Bible was produced in 325 AD by the Council of Nicaea or Nicaea. There's a possibility that in this modern day Reformation, someone has come to the light about this. Okay? There's a possibility. Don't hold me to that because I'm only in one spot of the world. And wherever you are at, only you know what people have accepted or rejected. Some people have accepted certain things and other people have rejected certain things. So I can't speak for your part of the world. Okay? But let's just pray they have accepted this book. The book I'm talking about is the book of Yasher, or some people call it Jasher with a J. But for the sake of correctiveness, I want to call it by its original name in the Hebrew, which is Yasher. It is spelled Yashar, Yashar, Yasher. And I want to go to the third chapter of the book of Yasher that speaks specifically about one of the earliest prophets or the one of the earliest mouthpieces of the Most High. His name was Enoch. His name was Enoch. You're going to hear me talk about Enoch a lot in the masterclass of prophecy. because we have taken on the end time model of prophecy. You're going to be hearing me talk about that quite a bit. We have taken on the end time model of prophecy. And the end time model of prophecy was and is spearheaded by a prophet who was before Moses, who was before Abraham, who was before John the Baptist. His name is Enoch. And he prophesied about a generation that was forthcoming and not his own generation. Okay? Prophets have assignments. I know I'm not telling you something brand new, but prophets have assignments. Prophets have been assigned to sections and regions. Enoch is a real strange one because his assignment in the present was to be wise and be a light unto the people that he was teaching. Hello, somebody. He permeated wisdom because of his prophetic position. He permeated a lot of wisdom. And this is what is lacking in the modern day 21st century circles of the prophetic. It is lacking because of the unawareness and the uh, uh, integrity that should be with anything prophetic. But we are not seeing that. But let's get into this. The book of Yasher in chapter number 3. Let me begin and read. And Enoch lived 65 years, and he begot Methuselah. And Enoch walked with Elohim, with God. After having begot Methuselah, and he served God, he served Yah, and despised the evil ways of men. There is absolutely no way that a person can be fully fledged in the prophetic, operating in the prophetic, flowing in the prophetic, feeling in the prophetic. There is absolutely no way that you can be in this prophetic mode and not despise the ways of man which are wicked. There's absolutely no way. I come in contact with people that say they're prophets or that they operate in a prophetic style or mode, if you will. And they flow with evil practices. They flow with traditional ways. They flow with things that are false. Y'all better hear me now. They flow with the things that are false. And they have no problem being people pleasers. They have no problem with that. Oh, my friends, let me tell you something. To be a prophet is to be despised of man. To be in the prophetic fully is to be questioned through and through with your calling. I don't have to tell you this, but most prophets are hated because of their ability of honesty. Oh my goodness, I can't get no help. Yeah, the ability of honesty, their boldness to speak a truth really scares people. It really scares people. It sends them in a frenzy of terrorism, if you will. Sends them in a marking of what are they going to see? Are you going to see me? I can't get no help in here. What are they going to see? What the prophet sees is not as important than what the prophet hears. Already in the first verse of the book of Yasher, chapter number 3, we see that because of the DNA of the prophetic, we see that Enoch despised the ways of man because man is wicked. I mean, I can't get no more real than that. Man is wicked. And because of the wickedness of man, the DNA that laid or lied in or is permeated in Enoch couldn't stand the sin. Now I'm teaching. If I get a little happy, y'all got to forgive me because I'm relaying this and I'm putting it out there as it should be. As I'm reading it, as the revelation is coming, as the Lord has shown fit to talk about. Help me, somebody. What is wrong with you when you see things that are against the word of God, if you will? What is wrong with you when you see these violations and you and your prophetic spirit are watching it, but then not frustrated? It's because you probably are not in a prophetic spirit, but you're in a pathetic spirit, and you're operating with the flow of the evil. I'm just trying to show you and get you to identify correctness when it's there. Let's go to verse number 2. And the soul of Enoch was wrapped up in the instruction of Yah, of God, in knowledge and in understanding. And he wisely retired or hid, if you will. He wisely retired from the sons of men and secreted himself from them for many days. Another characteristic and quality of an individual prophet is privacy. A characteristic and quality of the prophet, of the true prophet, is their ability of privacy. They don't want to be bothered, if you will. They don't want to hear anything, if you will, because they are listening to the voice of the Most High. They are operating in the stead of the power of the Most High. And let me tell you something, people. To operate in that stead, it takes so much energy, so much force mentally that you do not have time to listen to anything drawn out, drug out, and fabricated. You ain't got time to fool with the world, but you got a lot of time to concentrate on the voice of the Most High. Oh, I'm telling y'all something here on this evening, wherever you are located. The privacy of prophecy probably is the most important part of the prophetic, period. Because when the privacy, when the quietness is around you. You have no other choice but to be instructed. And when you are instructed, that brings about an obedience to the will of God. Oh, I need some help up in here. An obedience to the will of God. And that obedience brings you to an understanding about things that are going on. That's why he's got to have the room quiet. He's got to have the room quiet so that his spirit can cause you to be focused. So your spirit will have to be focused and keyed in on the information that is getting ready to be downloaded into your spirit, man. I've often said this, and I continue to say this, that you're just a vessel of communication. When you're a prophet, you are a vessel of communication. You have the gift of communication. Some of us are tremendous speakers. Some of us are tremendous teachers. Some of us are a combination of both. But whatever it turns out to be, the prophet is a great and prolific communicator. Hello, somebody. Prolific, precise, with clarity, and with honesty. See, you're not going to get up and speak with the DNA of God and lie. You're not going to be a liar. Y'all don't like me now. Okay? Hey, look, if you run into a lying prophet 9 times out of 10, they ain't operating in the spirit of God or operating in the spirit of the Most High. It's impossible to be a prophet of the Most High and lie. It's impossible. But when you see it, them ain't no prophets of the Most High. Those are prophets of their father, which is Satan, Satan, because he is the father of lies. There's absolutely no way that you can operate in the prophetic with a lying spirit, because lies are not even part of your DNA. How can integrity and honesty live and breathe in the same flow? It's impossible. Oh, y'all don't like me right now. It's impossible. That is why we should not be afraid to call a lying spirit. You hear me? If we are afraid to talk about a lying spirit, then that means there's a compromise. There is no compromission when it comes to the vision that you have been sent to talk about. There is no compromission. You cannot compromise with evil. Enoch pulled himself away from the people. There's got to be a point in your prophetic ministry where you pull away, to consecrate. Now, I know that we're living in a modern day system, but I need you to understand that old school ways still work today. Fasting and prayer is always going to be your source of strength. Fasting. I need somebody to hear me. Y'all need to, wherever, what platform you're on, you need to share this, because this information is free. And we don't get this information free because we got so many people that fabricate lies and charge you for them. You got to understand something. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And in your own mind, you have fabricated and you have salutated things that are not true. You are seeing fantasies of Gandhar. Let me break that down for you. You're seeing what you want to see, and you're believing what you want to believe, and you are actually seeing yourself in a higher position than what you really are. The Bible tells us in Romans, the 12th chapter, it said, for us not to think of ourselves more highly than what we are. What is happening, people? We are seeing in the religious circles people, because of the spirit of prophecy, because they're flowing in the gift of prophecy. Notice what I said, the gift of prophecy, not the actual office of the prophet, but because they are flowing in something and they're catching wind of it, now they are elevating themselves. This is a dangerous position to be in because you become what we say in the earthly realm, you become cultic. And people start worshiping the ground that you walk on because you're so high in your elevation of your revelation that they actually believe that you have been sent by the Most High. So instead of praising God, they start praising you. And then when they praise you, they rely on every word that comes out of your mouth. But the Bible tells me the Messiah himself, Jesus, Yehoshua, said himself that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word, every single word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. That's what we hang on to, not the words of a fleshly prophet, but the words of a divine God, a omnipresent God who can only give you the truth. Somebody better stop me up in here. He's geared and steered towards your elevation in your quietness. Some people don't like to be rude, but I'm going to be rude for just a minute. We got to learn how to shut up. Some of us talk way too much. We're steady moving our lips when we steady should be closing our lips and opening our ears. Let me teach you tonight. We've got to learn how to open our understanding through our listening. That is one of our senses that we need to pray to the Most High that becomes stronger and stronger. Help me, somebody. It is not, and Paul quoted this several times, it is not the elegance of speech, nor the ability of fascination through words that we are moved in the spirit. Hello, somebody. As the book of Revelation has quoted in its last quotation, when it comes down to the churches of Asia Minor and the characteristics of the churches of Asia Minor, he said, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church. We got to learn how to listen. We got to learn how to not just hear, but listen. A lot of you hear things. You hear windows blowing. You hear the crackling of a fire. You hear the boiling of a pot. But very rarely do we listen to the voice that's speaking to us. Very rarely, because we're not quiet. Let me move on. We just ain't quiet. Verse number 3. And it was at the expiration of many years while he was serving God, while he was serving Yah, and praying before him in his house, that an angel of Yah called to him from heaven. And this is what Enoch said. And he said, here am I. He knew that the angel had come with an instruction. He knew that the angel had come because he was quiet. Help me, somebody. Because of his quietness, which equated to being obedient. Then the Most High said, okay, now I'm going to send my messenger with your work. Mm-hmm. That's when we get our assignment, when we follow instructions. Verse number 4. And he said, rise, go forth from your house and from the place where you do hide yourself, and appear to the sons of men, in order that you may teach them the way in which they should go, and the work which they must accomplish to enter the ways of Elohim, the ways of God. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. He was quiet for a season. He was instructed for a season. And as soon as the quietness was over, as soon as the instruction was over, then he was commanded to go and talk about those things that he learned in his quietness. Help me, somebody. He was instructed to go and talk about the things that he learned in his quietness. And he said, go to the sons of men, go to the people, and teach them. Oh, I'm getting ready to mess you up here in just a minute. He said, go and teach them the way they should go and work that they must accomplish to enter the ways of God. This is, you know what? Before I go to the part that I really want to go to, do you not know that going into God is a work? It is not an overnight process. Learning how to serve God is not a 1, 2, 3 step where you accept Christ and then all of a sudden you're saved and now you're living right. That's not the way it works. There's a work, there is an attitude, there is an atmosphere that has to be built up through the working of obedience so that we can find out what pleases God. Hello, somebody. He knows that you are not automatically going to worship right. We've got to learn how to pray. We've got to learn how to operate in obedience. We have to learn how to be patient. We've got to learn how to follow instruction line by line, precept by precept. We've got to learn how to do things the right way. But this is important right here. Not only did the angel tell Enoch about that, but he told Enoch to go and teach. I'm about to mess you up. Most people with a prophetic mind and a prophetic spirit, their first objective is to prophesy. That's their first objective. It is to prophesy. But according to the angel, here in this fourth verse, the objective was not to prophesy, the objective was to teach. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. The objective was and is to teach. I'm about to bust some prophetic bubbles online tonight. If you're prophesying and you don't know the word, sit down, dummy. If you're prophesying and you don't have revelation of that which you have read, that you have been automatically drawn to because of its vibration, you need to sit down. There is nothing worse than someone relaying a truth that has no truth. There is absolutely nothing worse than that. I don't want to listen to someone babbling about things that don't exist, that you have no revelation of, because you're just sounding yourself off, rounding yourself off to be heard. We have an example of that in Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, with the false prophet Hananiah, who spoke of the bondage of the children of Israel. Now, there was a yoke placed upon the nation. And he, speaking of Hananiah, got up and prophesied about the yoke of wood that was going to be broken off of the neck or the back of the people. But of course, we know that God didn't say that, nor did he relay that. So he came to the real prophet, who was Jeremiah, and told Jeremiah that I have placed a yoke of iron upon the necks of the people. It was God, it was Elohim himself that had allowed the people to go into bondage because of their disobedience. It was him. It was not the devil. We love to blame the devil and put the devil in a position of authority over our bondage. All the devil is just a conductor of our bondage. He does not control it, nor does he command it. It is the Most High, the Elohim, the El Shaddai, that has allowed this to happen to your life. And why? There's always that question. I hear it 1,000 times. I used to ask it myself 1,000 times. Why would God allow me to go through? Why would God let me see pain? Why would God let me see the agony in things? Well, guess what? I'm not saying this is you, but I'm giving you something to think about. There could be a problem with your obedience. There could be a problem with your listening. There could be a problem with you never being quiet, because he's speaking and he's trying to tell you something. But because you're in yourself and you're feeling yourself and you're jumping up and down and you're clicking your heels like Dorothy and you're going home and you're getting in a whirlwind, and you think you're going into a whirlwind of blessings, when in all actuality, you're going into a whirlwind of trouble because of your disobedience. He sent you people in your life to bless you, to help you, to guide you, to cover you. But what did you do? You threw them away because they didn't do things the way you thought they should be done. Uh-huh. You threw them away because of the lack of understanding into that which you thought they should be. But you had a picture already. You went ahead of God and you said that I'm going to serve you the way I want to serve you. I'm going to serve you this way, and I'm going to give you the praise, and I'm going to give you the glory. I'm going to give you the honor because of that. But God said that lukewarm praise, that lukewarm obedience, he said, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth, prophet. I'm going to throw you into a whirlwind of detainment and discertainment because of your disobedience and the lacking of understanding. I am throwing you away because you're doing it your way. You're not following my commandments. You're not following my understanding. You're following your own spirit. See, the proper way for that to be relayed is a self-righteous spirit. You're not going in the design. You have a gift, but you don't have an understanding. You have a gift, but you have no power. Somebody better listen to me tonight in this class. You have a gift, but your gift supersedes your humbleness. Whew, I don't know where you're at tonight and who I'm talking to, but I'm teaching you and I'm telling you something right now. Help me, somebody. You are operating strictly and solely in the flesh realm for the satisfaction of your flesh. You're operating solely for the publication of your own glory, to lift yourself up, to get the accolades. We are seeing this so much so. We are so close to the kingdom of Yah landing in a spot that we're not prepared for. And that's right in front of us. We've got to get prepared. We've got to get ourselves together on that level. Help me, somebody. Got to get there. We got to get there. We got to get there. Teaching them. The angel did not tell Enoch to prophesy. He said, teach them. And this is a difficult thing for people in the prophetic to do. There is a season of prophecy. There is a season where the Lord will instruct you to prophesy with his spirit. There is a season for that. And when you prophesy, you won't miss. You won't miss. Hello, somebody. You won't miss it. The reason why you won't miss it is because you're prophesying with his spirit. And when you prophesy with the spirit of God, the spirit of the Most High, there is no such thing as missing on it. There's so many people that are teaching that you got to miss in order to learn. No, you don't miss because you're not prophesying in oneself. You are prophesying through the spirit of the one that sent you. Hello, somebody. So if you prophesy in his spirit, there won't be a miss. Everything will be on point. Everything will hit. Everything will glare. Everything will shine. But he told Enoch to teach. He didn't say prophesy. He told him to teach. Let me get verse number 5 in here. Verse number 5 says, and Enoch rose up according to the word of God, the word of Yah, and went forth from his house and from his place and from the chamber in which he was concealed. And he went to the sons of men and taught them the ways of God, Yahuwah. And at that time, assembled the sons of men and acquainted them with the instruction of God, the instruction of Yah. This is very interesting. And if you don't get excited off of this, something wrong with your natural born DNA. Enoch got up not in his own power, nor in his own will. Enoch got up according to the word of God. He moved under the power of the Spirit. What does that remind you of? In Amos, he said, not by my will nor by my power, but by your Spirit. We are moving through the DNA and through the bloodstream and the characteristic of kinship with Christ. The word has moved it, not the praise and worship service, not the choir, but it is the word that moved Enoch and moved him from his house. I don't get excited from the preliminaries of the church service, y'all. I don't know about you. Each person is an individual, and they've got to answer to whatever motivates them. But what motivates me is a solid, precise word from God. An accurate word that moves and it takes me to another level. When the word comes, it brings solace to my spirit. It brings confidence to my mind. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. His whole purpose is to steal the word from your mind. We have come to this part of shalom, which is peace. When you hear the word shalom, you are affiliated with peace. And in that peace, there is a joy of characteristic in the word. Your excitement is the next level of instruction. My goodness, help me, somebody. We have trained people in church today to move with the beat of the drummer and the organ and the keyboard and the guitar and the bass. We have learned to make holy dances. But how many people are dancing off the word? How many people are bouncing off the word? How many people are excited when Psalms 23 is related? For the Lord is my shepherd, that I shall not want. He maketh me walk in. Oh, y'all don't like me up in here. Or Psalms 91 when he says that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadows of the Almighty. How many people can dance? How many people can dance? How many people can dance when he said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God. How many people can dance? when they think of Isaiah 54:17, when he says, no weapon that is formed against you shall be able to prosper. For this is the heritage of the sons of God, and every tongue that rises up in condemnation shall be condemned. This is what gets me excited. This is what boils my skin. This is what sends me into a frenzy. This is what gives me hope for tomorrow and gives me the belief that there is a destiny. I speak a word, and all of a sudden the word comes to pass. I speak a word, and all of a sudden that word becomes a part of my everyday. That word becomes a key of an essence of things to come. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. It is faith that has brought me this far. It is belief that has brought me into it. Enoch rose up from the shadows of secretion and from the shadows of instruction. He rose up with a word, excited with the word, and he went forth from his place. Come on, somebody. He went forth from his place in his chamber, and he where he was concealed, and he went to the sons of God, and he taught them the ways of God. He still ain't prophesied yet. He still he still ain't prophesied yet. He still ain't come up on the prophecy yet. Taught him the ways. He said, I got to teach you something first before you can get yourself pumped up, before you can get yourself going. I got to teach you something. Whew. My goodness, I've come to the end of my time. I'm getting excited, and I've come to the end of my time. I'm at the 5th verse. I'm gonna get this thing back rolling and pumped up tomorrow. On the 6th verse tomorrow, I'll have my esteemed guest prophetess Dee Dee with me tomorrow on here, probably getting excited with me. So y'all gotta forgive us, because when we hear a word, we get pumped, just like Enoch. When you hear a word, you get pumped. I'm excited in this masterclass of prophecy of the miracles that's going to happen. I'm excited to hear the revelation that's going to be coming in the form of this class, with the revelation that people are going to give us about the testimony of God. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. Our giving information is on the screen. Our giving information is on the screen up under my name, paypal.me/Dawn of Prophecy 777, 3 sevens. You can go to the Cash App and hit the $ and type in Chief Apostle Kepha. Kepha is spelled Kepha. And of course, if you want to be a part of the class, if you want to receive some type of degree, affirmation, ordination, or whatever it is that you're trying to look for, because you're going to get a lot of information here. All you have to do is contact me, lowercase, all lowercase, Dr. Dr. Kepha, Kepha, Ben, Ben, Israel, Israel, the number 77 at Comcast.net. I'm excited tonight because guess what? Prophecy has brought me to this next level. It is the word of God that has taught me that if I just wait on a word from the Lord, if I just wait, he shall renew my strength. Even though this is a class tonight, I want to speak to someone right now just for a half a minute before I go. And I want to let you know that there is only one way out of your circumstance and situation. The Lord is trying to tell me to let you know to be quiet, because in the midst of your quietness, he's going to give you a plan and an instruction how to come out, how to be victorious in the situation, and how to build the next thing. I don't know who you are tonight, but he's ready to take you on a little journey, on a little trip. He's ready to take you to a place called nowhere. And in this place called nowhere, you're going to feel like you're going to die. But what he has done is that he's brought you into a place of protection where no one can touch you. I don't know who you are. He's brought you to a place where no one can touch you and where no one is going to be able to recognize you. He has brought you to a place of secretion, and he's going to build a miracle on your behalf. I'm prophesying to you, whoever you are. He's going to build a miracle on your behalf, and this miracle is going to take you to the next level. Woo! I better hold some because I got to teach the rest of this tomorrow. And when I teach it tomorrow, we're going to be crunk up. Again, I'll have Prophetess Dee Dee on with me as I'm teaching on tomorrow. And it's going to be very, very, the next part of this thing is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, with that being said, oh, yeah, and I don't know who this is, but I feel the Lord saying that there is I don't know what you did or who you did or what someone did something to you, but the Lord said that he's going to bless you with a car. As a matter of fact, it's not a car that you're going to get, it's a truck. It's a truck, a GMC truck. I see a GMC truck. I see this truck that you're going to be blessed with. And the Lord said that when you get this truck or when you get this vehicle, it will not be long before it is completely paid off. Before it's completely paid off. Do you hear what I'm saying? Not only did he supernaturally bless you with it, but he's going to supernaturally make it yours and you're going to own it. Shut the front door. You're going to supernaturally own it. Blessings to all the people in South Africa that is watching me tonight. One of my safe havens in Johannesburg, and yes, blessings to the country of South Africa tonight. But I'm telling you, I don't know who you are, but you're going to get this blessing not because of some uh because of what you went through, but because he wants you to be debt free. He wants you to be able to flow appropriately and properly in his will and in his stead. I don't know who you are tonight, but that's what the Lord told me to say because I'm prophesying the life of completion. You've went through a lot of things in your life and you've seen a lot of things in your life, but God is saying that the last thing that he wants you to see is victory. I don't know who you are, but he wants you to see victory tonight. He wants you to prove all the naysayers wrong. He wants you to be a miracle to your doctors. I don't know where that came from. He wants you to be a miracle to your doctors. He wants you to be different than the ones that came before you. And he's going to complete you in the spirit tonight. He's going to complete you in the spirit tonight. He's going to move you from one circumstance of obscurity to a situation of glory. Yeah, I don't know who you are, but he's going to move you into a situation of glory. He's going to move you into a situation of glory. I've been on here long enough. I've been on here long enough. I'll be back on tomorrow. The Masterclass of Prophecy. We meet every Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know if any of you are on my platforms on Facebook. We have the information via flyer on platform on Facebook, on X, which is formerly Twitter. We have the information on Instagram. On Instagram, my handle is apostle underscore Kepha, Kepha underscore Israel, Israel, and the number 77. That is my handle on Instagram. We're on Twitch. You can get us on Twitch at Kepha, Kepha, and the number 77. We are on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Dr. Kepha bin Israel. That's how you can find us on YouTube. But on all the handles and all the platforms, I want to thank everybody that wanted to learn, because this is all we do. This is all we do in the Masterclass of Prophecy. We learn, we get revelation, and then we send people out. It is an instruction that was given to me by the Most High Yah that before 2026, to build 1,000 prophets, to send them to the battlefield, to send them into war, to get ready for this next level of expedition that we're coming to in the spirit. And with that being said, I love every last one of you. Make sure you give. Make sure you give to us financially so that we can continue this, what we're doing here tonight. Make sure that you give, because when you give, it helps us to be able to do everything that needs to be done. Now, we're not a gimmick ministry. We're not a gimmick school. So whatever you give is very, very we are thanking you for whatever you give. But I just want you to understand that I'm not running a local church. I'm running a school and a universal ministry. So it takes money to do all that stuff. So I ain't afraid and I ain't scared to ask you to help me. So I need your help. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop when if we don't get any help, because we're going to continue to do what we got to do. Because I believe that there are some obedient people out there that believe and want to see the vision of education in the word grow. I really believe that. Call me crazy, but I believe that with all my heart, my mind, my body, and my soul. I'm going to be back the same time. It's going to be 7 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. on the Central Standard Time, and 4 p.m. on the Mountain and Pacific areas. In Arizona, I believe it is 5 p.m. Okay. So let somebody know that they can go to school without registering by hitting my platforms, and they can learn and can be educated and be reversed into the spirit of prophecy in the master class of prophecy. I'm your instructor. I'm your teacher. I am the Dr. Kepha bin Israel. I am a professor of divinity. I am an archbishop in the Lord's church, and I am a chief apostle in the body of Messiah, which is the kingdom of God. And I love every last one of you. I believe in the power of the Most High. And I believe that He has sent you in such a time as this to learn the word and get something that will edify the spirit for the rest of your life. I'll be back tomorrow. God bless.